Welcome back to the channel, good friends. Brian from Apex Detail. We're going to start a new series. This one will be correction and protection. This one here, unlike the last series, is not a brand new car. It's not very old either, but will need a multi-step correction. There's also some line paint and some other issues to point out, take care of. So there will be some different information that I can pass along to you compared to the last series. So I'll take you guys along for the ride. This happens to be a Maserati Quattroporte, and this is a turbo V6, 404 horsepower, 406 foot-pounds. It comes in the SQ4 GTS. This happens to be the SQ4. Comes in rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive, 0 to 60 in 4.4, 8-speed automatic transmission. Gorgeous car, simple yet luxurious interior in the 8.5-inch display right in the center of the dash. Gorgeous colors. Tons of different materials to recon and protect and preserve on the inside and the outside of the vehicle, including under the hood. Yes, this is a full package, bumper to bumper protection. Since we're under the hood here, it's a great place to start. It needs to be cleaned up and the plastic will be conditioned and protected. And I'll do it a little bit differently than the last time. I'm going to use a little bit more water in this type of engine bay cleaning. You got to remember, modern engines, most of the connections are sealed, and there are just a few things to look out for. The alternator, any intake, any electronic computer control unit needs to be protected. Other than that, you can have a little bit of moisture under the hood. You don't need to go crazy, but you don't need to be water-free either. So I do have the foamer out, the same foam we used in the last series, and it's a dry foam. So I'll spray it up on the underneath of the hood, I'll agitate, and I'll rinse. And I'm going to do the same thing for the components in and around the engine compartment. This is CarPro Multi-X, just a few ounces in the foamer. This tested here at the shop is easy on plastic trim. The newer cars these days, guys, it's getting thinner, it's getting cheesier, it's getting cheaper, unfortunately. So we really do need to care for it. Any plastic trim on the inside or the outside of the vehicle. Multi-X will take care of cleaning it when diluted properly without staining or discoloring. So we're going to use the blower, any leaf blower or shop blower, to completely dry the entire engine bay before we shut the hood, button it up, and bring it inside. And now the engine bay is cleaned and just needs to be protected. We'll do that a little bit later. And yes, you can introduce a power washer to the engine bay. Just need to use a little common sense, not pointing it directly at some of the more intricate parts, just some of the flat plastic parts, and hold it back far enough where the pressure isn't forcing water in some of those areas. So let's get to the wheels. We're going to foam those up. I'm going to do a pre-rinse because brake dust happens to be one of the most abrasive elements that will come in contact with the surface of your car anywhere. So we want to try and remove that without touching it or agitating or rubbing it. So I'm going to hit it with a foamer, lift it a little bit, emulsify it a little bit, get it free from the surface so I can rinse it and get it out of there. With the thorough rinse complete, we can bring in my favorite wheel cleaner right now, a built Hamburg wheel. Doesn't matter what you use, guys, as long as you're using something appropriate for the condition of the wheel and not get overly aggressive. When the four wheels are finished, I'm going to walk around the car and remove anything that's blocking painted surfaces to be cleaned and protected, including the plate and any debadging that needs to be done or any stickers that dealerships may have placed on the car. And it's time to do our pre-wash routine. This is a pre-treat. This is going to be the Built Hamburg snow foam, and this is going to be to break up any bonded contaminants or road film. This car happens to have quite a bit of road film on the side. It has line paint going down both sides from front to back, and it has overspray on just about the whole car. So this wash and cleaning portion of the correction is going to be a little bit different than I showed you in the last series. Then we want to give the snow foam enough time to sit there, dwell, and do its job. Normally outside it's going to be 5 to 6 minutes. Inside in a wash bay you can get away with almost 10 minutes. Just enough time to walk around with a soft detailing brush and clean around all of the badges and in the corners and edges. Time for a thorough rinse, and this here I wanted to show you is exactly how clear coat should act if it's free of waxes, sealants, and road film. And now it's time for the contact wash, whichever way you do it. One bucket multi-mitt or the two bucket method, it doesn't matter. Next up is going to be a decon wash, and this is going to have an iron remover in it. It's going to be able to loosen up contaminants. We're going to spray this on. We're going to let it dwell for as long as we can before it starts to dry up a little bit out here in the sun's peeking out here and there. And since we have a lot of overspray on the car, it's all over the place, but it's not real big droplets of overspray. We're going to get out the clay bar, and Junior and I are going to hit that while the foam is on there acting as our lubricant. We're trying to get as many steps done as we can in one act, and you can see what it's been picking up. I have no idea what the overspray is, but we're going to wash that after. So yeah, it's been through quite a few steps already when it comes to just a wash process, but that's what it needed. We're going to pull it inside right away and dry it off. We're using forced air. Now that it's nice and clean and dry, it's the perfect time to walk around and do your pre-correction or pre-protection inspection. I would at least do a polish if you're offering any type of correction or protection package. And this is the best time to walk around and be thorough. Walk around the car and check each panel. Check all of the imperfections on there. If there's something you need to report to the customer that he may not know is there, an imperfection, point it out, document it. It's good to have both pictures and paperwork to point out exactly where they are. And you can see the line paint that runs down the whole length, both sides of the car. There's etching on here, there's light swirls, there's heavier swirls, and there's deeper scratches on here. So this is going to be a multi-step correction. The light in the shop here is unforgiving, so it picks up just about everything. If you don't have that, pick up a unit like this. It's a little pocket light. MaxShine makes this one. Excellent to pick out swirls and scratches. And you can see what's going on using this little tool. Walk around the car with that instead. Another great tool to invest in, a paint depth gauge. Guys, this here is 2 mils. This is pretty much what manufacturers will give you as clear coat on your car. Very, very thin. So this is what we're removing imperfections from without removing too much of it. So I want to go around, and my first measurements, I want to see between 4.8 and 5.8 mils. That's going to be normal for a car like this. And I'm getting some questionable readings on the hood here, and this fender being at 7. Right here, we'll get to some normal readings as we go back through the car. So I'm going to inspect the front of the car a little bit further because these are some suspect readings in the front. Now we're getting to normal readings towards the back. And you want to make note of this because if there's been repairs to the car, guys, who knows what Joe's Body Shop or whoever did it, who knows how much clear coat they left you. So you definitely want to be careful in areas that have been repaired. Another way is if you're measuring a panel and it goes from 5 to 12 mils thick, then you know there's filler in there as well. Something to take note of and keep track of as you're correcting your car. Or if it's your own car, guys, it's nice to know what's going on with each panel as well. Since we have high readings in the front, I'm going to pop the hood and look for clues. Is there overspray in the seams? Right here we have indications there's been a repair at the fender because the bolts have been taken off right here and right there. We'll go to the other side and see if they have been messed with. There's a little bit of overspray in that seam right there as well. The driver's side's fine, it's the passenger side has been taken apart. So we want to be careful in those areas while correcting. I just will not go very far because I don't know how much material we have to work with. These are the gloss meter readings. Before we get started on the correction, we want to see a jump from these readings here to triple digits if we can. That's always going to be our goal. Well, let's see if we get there. Okay, so before we start any spot correction or anything else, we want to start to pre-treat this line paint. There are a few ways to do it. There are many ways you could tackle line paint. One of 3 ways we're going to go after it is we have a little bit of Vaseline here. We have a little bit of Schaefer's Penetro 90. You can have WD-40 as well, and a little bit of lacquer thinner. So I'm going to use the WD-40 or the Penetro 90 to hit the areas down on the bottom of the rocker panel, and I'll just use that on hard painted surfaces. Spray that on and let it sit for 20 minutes. No more, no less. It softens it up just enough that it'll make it easy. It'll make your job easy to remove it on hard painted surfaces. In here, that's where I'm going to grab the Vaseline. Doesn't matter what kind, just so it's petroleum, and a very thin layer I will spread on there. That I need to let sit overnight for a good 12 hours. And then again, I come in, softens it enough, a nice plastic razor blade, and that'll pop each one of those little line paint specks right off of the inner fender well. I'm going to spread out that petroleum jelly on all areas, plastic surfaces, especially on the inner fender well, and let it dwell overnight. So that's going to do it for this video here. I have a ton of information to share in the series, so stay tuned. Catch you guys in the next video.